Afternoon, gang. Never let it be said that I won't admit when I'm wrong. Uh, yeah, this came out about 3 minutes ago. Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the 2024 campaign. Uh, he has also endorsed Donald Trump. Now, personally, I thought he was going to make it through the New Hampshire primaries on Tuesday. He didn't get that far. So now we get into the next bit is how long will Nikki Haley last? All right. And I still think she'll drop out after South Carolina. The interesting part that we're going to see on this now is how this plays into New Hampshire. Because if DeSantis is endorsing Trump, not a big surprise, okay? I mean, what is going to happen with his voters? Are they going to stay home? Are they going to say, okay, Trump is a better choice? I don't really see a whole lot of the DeSantis crowd jumping over to the Nikki Haley camp for the simple reason that Nikki Haley basically is Hillary Clinton with an R behind her name. I mean, remember, this is the woman that said Hillary Clinton was one of her mentors to get into politics. Okay. You also have to look at Nikki Haley's campaign. I mean, it's primarily funded by Democrat mega donors. You have to look at what happened in in Iowa, where you had them actively seeking out Democrats to become Republicans for a day to flip over to endorse Nikki Haley, right? New Hampshire is going to be a little different. And mind you, guys remember I lived up there. Even though it's the Northeast, which is uber liberal, New Hampshire is kind of the outlier up there. New Hampshire is fiercely independent. Remember, we're talking the live free or die state. I think something like 40% of New Hampshire residents identify as independent. Not sure on that number. It could be higher. It's certainly not lower. But how are they going to vote? Because New Hampshire's primary is an open primary. Anybody can vote. You don't have to be a registered Republican to vote in the New Hampshire primary. You can vote however you want. So what happens? Are they going to come out for Nikki Haley? Are they going to come out for Donald Trump? Because basically they're the only two left. Okay. And where before I figured Trump was going to win this by 15 points, now my guess is Trump will probably win upwards of 20 for the simple reason of some of Nikki Haley's decisions, I guess, if you will, on what she's not familiar with, how she talks out of both sides of her mouth, et cetera, et cetera. The sooner she drops out, the better the Republican Party is as a whole, personally, because then we can focus on, and not saying that I'm a Republican because I'm not, but then the fight can be to focus on getting his fraudulency out of the White House. Okay. We don't need to be spending time and money, okay, and resources and effort fighting amongst Trump versus Haley now. We can spend all the effort on Trump versus Biden. Okay. And then the big question comes up, the more talked about thing in the news. Will Biden actually be the one on the ballot in November? And I still say that's a 50-50 shot that he's not. Okay. That he gets all the way to the convention and says, okay, I got your nomination, but in the interest of the party, because it's certainly in the interest of the country, he'll step down and endorse whoever. And whether that's Gavin Newsom, whether that is Kathy Hochul, whether that's Gretchen Whitmer, whether that's Michael Obama, we don't know. All right, we'll see. But as of right now, everything kind of got thrown a little topsy-turvy for Tuesday, that DeSantis has dropped out. Now the big question comes, and this has been bouncing around in the the press here for the last couple of days is who Trump is going to pick for his VP candidates. Did DeSantis finally go, maybe if I drop out now, there's some deal that Trump will make DeSantis the VP? It's a possibility, because as I've said many times before, DeSantis's biggest mistake politically was running this year. If he would have sat on the sidelines and continued to run Florida as the governor for the next 4 years, he probably would have been the lead candidate, if not the layup nominee in 2028. Okay. So maybe there's a back door that he's looking at. Maybe there's some sort of deal that if he drops out now, Trump selects him as the VP. Of course, now you're getting the other comments of who Trump is going to pick, whether it's going to be, I guess the latest rumors now are Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Trump values loyalty. There's no question. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is very loyal to Trump, but she's been governor for all of a year. Okay, and we don't need to be bringing up identity politics. Oh, we have to pick a woman. That's just playing on their game. No, we need to do exactly what Trump needs to do, exactly what the people want. Pick somebody based on qualifications, not on a box they check. Okay? Fine, Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a female. Let her run Arkansas. Let her get some experience under her belt. She's got a career going forward. Okay? Talking about J.D. Vance. Okay. He's not going to help you bring Ohio. No offense. Okay. Chances are Trump wins Ohio anyway. He's leaving there as is now. Okay. You've had to talk about Ben Carson. You've had to talk about Kristi Noem. I guess Ramaswamy has not been even shortlisted. I still think Ramaswamy is going to be the chief of staff. I think that's where they'll put him. Ron DeSantis now as a VP candidate becomes very interesting, because why would you drop out 2 days before a primary? You think he'd at least run it to the end. Is it he doesn't want to get embarrassed? Maybe. Okay. I mean, he wasn't polling. He was getting slaughtered by Nikki Haley in New Hampshire. He really wasn't campaigning up there. But what else is going on? Pay attention. DeSantis isn't going to go quietly into this good night. He's still going to stick around. He's going to be there somewhere. But shockingly, to find out that DeSantis dropped out. Ironically, as funny as it is, the Russian news was reporting it before the American news. As of the point of me starting this video, Fox hadn't even reported it yet. Mrs. P found it in the Russian news, and I confirmed it on CNN. Okay? So this is where it's going. We are now in a two-horse race, at least for the next week or so. Have a good one. Pinball out.